Welcome to the Epcotian Adventure,
a podcast where we talk about all things Disney, but we're Epcot-centered.
including tips and tricks, festivals and favorites, and the very latest in our rankings and reviews.
But we're still old enough to remember when our very favorite Disney mom was our own.
This is episode 106, the top 5 Disney moms.
Or, don't worry, dads, your turn is next month.
So now, please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast as we embark on our Epcotian adventure.
We call it Epcot.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 106 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And today's all about moms, because yesterday was Mother's Day.
Yeah, we love to celebrate moms. We loved celebrating our own mom for Mother's Day. And now we're going to do a little tribute to our favorite Disney mothers.
And we really did mean that our favorite Disney mom of all time was our mom. She and our dad took us to Disneyland for the first time, well, me back in the 60s, Sue in the 70s, our other siblings even before that. So really, we're a Disney family because of our folks. And Mom's a big part of that.
Absolutely. And we would love to celebrate her. If you consider yourself a Disney mom, we're celebrating you as well.
Or if you're a Disney dog mom.
Yes, that is a thing.
That's a thing.
But we're just going to kind of jump right in because we're just going to do this as a very fun episode. This is not meant to be informational in any way, shape, or form. You will not be planning a trip off of this episode.
No. Basically, these are animated feature film or animated characters. We're not going to be using live action moms in this. Now, of course, there'll be some crossover because of the films that became live action that were animated, but we're going off the animated films.
Yes, and we should also specify that we are doing mother figures because mothers who adopt are also moms. Stepmoms are also moms. If you're a mom figure in someone's life, you are a mom. So we are counting not just biological moms here, but all the moms. And let's see how many times I can work the word mom into a sentence.
Mom! 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 Mommy! Mommy! Mama! 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 What? Hi.
So let's just jump right in. We both compiled a list of our top 5 favorites with a couple of honorable mentions, of course. And we have not seen each other's lists. There will be some crossover, I'm sure.
All right, well, why don't you start, sis?
I feel like I always start these. Well, you go first this
all
time.
right.
What is your number 5?
My number 5 favorite Disney mom is Kanga from Winnie the Pooh.
Excellent choice.
She's just a mom's mom.
She is.
Our sister-in-law Jill reminds me a lot of Kanga because she's just a loving mom to whomever is around her. Not only her own child, Rue, but to all of her friends and family.
Good morning, Digger dear.
She called me dear.
She is like a quintessential mother figure. She reminds me, Jill is a great example, but also our friend Stephanie is a Kanga.
She mothers Stephanie very
everybody.
much is a Kanga, yes.
But in just such a delightful way. That's a great choice. What a good way to start off our list.
Thank you. And your number 5?
My number 5, I'm going to take a bit more of a serious turn on this one. But my number 5 spot was hard to fill. As if you've been listening to us for a while, you know that ranking things is very difficult for me. I like to choose everybody and give everyone a spot in the sunshine. So my number 5 spot was hard won, but it went to Queen Eleanor from the movie Brave.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she got turned into a bear for her family.
She sure did. And that was, this was a hard spot to fill because there's so many great Disney moms, but she has such an amazing character arc because at first she really is a victim. She didn't know she was going to be turned into a bear.
You changed. Oh, darling. We both have.
She had a disagreement with Merida, and Merida pulled the spell out of nowhere and turned her into a bear, kind of accidentally, but still, even in that state, she was such an amazing mother that even when she was becoming more bear-like than human-like, she knew how to fight for her family, how to fight for her daughter, and she ends up battling the big bad bear. I want to say Mordor.
The
but
boss
that
bear.
Seems wrong.
Ooh.
I can't remember the big bear's name now. Something like Mordor.
Mordu.
But anyway, she fights the big bad bear and saves her family even when she doesn't have all of her human faculties about her. And I just think that she has such a great arc in that. So she got my number 5 spot.
Fantastic. Well, my number 4 is Duchess from the Aristocats. Duchess goes well above and beyond as a mom to take care of her 3 little kittens, Marie, Berlioz, and Toulouse.
Aristocrats do not practice biting and clawing and things like that. It's just horrible.
And doesn't quite trust right off the bat everybody, but she has a good feeling about the geese and the Thomas O'Malley, and enough to... It's not that she needs somebody to rescue her, but she's willing to allow somebody to help her along in a time of danger. And I admire that about her.
That is excellent. And I love that she does end up leading her family back home. That was the whole goal of her, is leading her family back to where they belong. And that's a great, great choice. She was another one that was fighting for that number 5 spot on mine. So excellent. Well done. My number 4, I'm going to go with, I have a couple of little wild cards on here. I think this is probably the most wild card on mine, who made my top 5. And this is going to be Aunt Cass. And she is from Big Hero 6.
One of the best Marvel films of all time.
So good. And she takes in Tadashi and Hiro, and she raises them as if they were her own. She's not all that much older. Like, she doesn't seem like she's necessarily capable of doing such a thing, but she does it, and she raises them as a single mom lifestyle that she's taken on by choice to raise her 2 nephews. And I just think it's amazing, and she is such a great character. She loves those boys like nothing.
For 10 years, I have done the best I could to raise you. Have I been perfect? No. Do I know anything about children? No. Should I have picked up a book on parenting? Probably. Where was I going with this? I had a point.
Sorry.
We love you, Aunt Cass.
Well, I love you too.
And even manages to rescue Hiro when he is down in the dumps after losing Tadashi.
Well, and encourages him to follow the right path.
Yes.
And I admire that about that character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she doesn't force him to do anything. She shows him by example, this is what you're going to need to do. And he does. So I love that. Yes. Aunt Cass definitely gets my number 4 spot.
Well, my number 3 is Eudora from Princess and the Frog.
Such a good choice.
She is the most supportive mom of just a girl with a dream.
That's all I want for you, sweetheart. To meet your Prince Charming and dance off into your happily ever after.
Mama, I don't have time for dancing.
And she not only encourages her to do that, but she helps, her and her dad both help with recipes and with financial, as best they can, growing up how they did. It's just, she's in the film for a very short time, but the song Almost There, and with her and her mom, was not only very touching, but it was also, I think, perfectly put into that film, into that storyline, and really emblematic of a good mom.
Such a great choice. I had Eudora all over my list as well, and she ended up as my first honorable mention. So I'll skip her in honorable mentions and fill someone else in that slot, but she almost made my list so many times. The way that she is so helpful with Tiana, and how she helps, again, with the single mom lifestyle when the dad passes away, and she helps fulfill that dream that Tiana got from him. And I absolutely love that. She is such a great mom. Good choice. My number 3 is going to go to Helen Parr, better known as Elastigirl from The Incredibles. She is a mom who is a mom's mom. This is the one who reminds me of Jill, of our
Very
sister-in-law.
much so, yeah.
So she is, she's the one who makes dinner for everyone without a blink of an eye, and she helps with the homework, and she gets them ready for bed, and she still manages to fight crime. She is a superhero, and she is a super mom. And even if she had 0 superpowers, she would still be a super mom.
Yeah, that's very true. And actually, she is my number 1.
Oh my gosh!
So we'll just sneak ahead, and my number 1 is Mrs. Incredible, specifically from Incredibles 2.
Yes.
Where she's flying the plane and she does everything to save her kids and her husband, and basically becomes the star and the superhero of that entire film. If it wasn't for her, the story would have ended right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But she also encourages her kids to use their talents in a way that is just beautiful.
You have more power than you realize. Don't think. And don't worry. If the time comes, you'll know what to do. It's in your blood.
It's a beautiful story piece that a lot of people overlook. That she encourages not only the kids to grow up and be supers, but to use their talents in a way to better man. And I love that.
I do too. That's such a great one. She made it to number 3 on my spot. My top 2 were non-negotiable in mine. So it was the 3, 4, 5 that I had a hard time deciding who went where.
Well, my number 2 is Kala from Tarzan.
Oh, good one.
Kala is not Tarzan's mom, but adopted Tarzan. And stood up for him against all odds.
So where's his mama?
Well, I'm going to be his mother now.
So here's a shout out to all adoptive moms out there. And Kala is my number 2. It bounced back and forth between her and Mrs. Incredible.
Nice.
So how Kala stands up for Tarzan, even though she's not the mom, is just such a touching story, but it's just something that needs to be reintroduced into culture nowadays, is that unconditional love for people that aren't even somebody you know.
Not even the same species.
Not even the same species, no. Of course, Tarzan didn't know that for years.
He didn't know. But it is amazing because there literally is no story without her. Because his parents are killed when he was a baby. She takes him in as a baby, raises him with her own family, and he's got a life.
Yeah.
How he learned to speak English, I don't know, but that's fine.
Well, you already know my number 1, so what is your number 2?
I still am on number
Yeah,
2. We just had a little sneak peek of yours.
You get 2 in a row.
So my number 2 is going to be Perdita from 101 Dalmatians.
Perdita almost made my top list.
It's a tough call between Perdita and Duchess for me because they have similar trajectories in that they're trying to get their family back home, together.
Less kids, though.
Yes.
Yeah, Duchess has, what's math?
Just the 3.
97? No, 98 less? Yeah.
Yes. So Perdita won the spot for me over Duchess only because she is not kidnapped with her kids. The kids are taken from her and she has to go find them and then bring them home. And she has 15 puppies and ends up with 99 puppies.
Come along, children. Bedtime. But we're not a bit sleepy.
So and she takes them all in. They take them all in.
Another adoptive mom.
Yep.
I love that.
I do too. So she got my number 2 spot. My number 1 spot is going to be another sort of a wild card. My number 1 spot went to Nani from Lilo and Stitch.
Nani is the first of my honorable mentions.
She got my number 1 spot for a lot of reasons, but she is not a mom. She's a big sister, but she takes in Lilo and she raises her to keep her from being put into any kind of foster system. She steps up and becomes the mom. She's never pretends to be a mother. She's always the big sister, and they still have that relationship. And I think it's amazing the things that she sacrifices to take care of her, to take care of their home, to keep their Ohana together.
I'll tell you what. If you promise not to fight anymore, I promise not to yell at you, except on special occasions.
Tuesdays and bank holidays would be good.
Yeah, would that be good?
And she definitely got that number 1 spot for me.
And even adopt Stitch at one point, which, again,
Yes.
different species. Weird.
Right? And that's, kind of against her will. But,
Yeah.
but again, she takes him in, and he becomes part of the family, so that's a good point.
Well, my 2 honorable mentions we've already talked about, Nani and Aunt Cass. So what were your honorable mentions?
Well, I have 5. Because, but we've already talked about my top 2 were Kanga and Eudora, which you've already mentioned. But I'm going to do 3 that are very much wild card figures. My 3 honorable mentions are going to be Chicha from Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, wow.
And that is just because she's one of my favorite moms. She doesn't have any extraordinary powers. She doesn't have any extraordinary even moments really in the film, but I love the way she parents those 2 kids.
You've a lovely wife. They're both very pretty.
So I absolutely love her character. So she made my list just because I like her character.
I love that. I love the voice, too, the voice actress that does that.
Yes. And the other 2 are even wilder cards because they don't have a ton of airtime. Well, one does. One is going to be Franny Robinson from Meet the Robinsons. She's very free-spirited, but very scientific. She teaches frogs to sing and dance.
Franny, this is Lewis.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Perfect timing. We need someone on maracas.
She encourages...
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Oh.
But she encourages the exploration. She encourages the curiosity in the kids. She just wants to mother everyone and take him in and care for him just like her own kids. And I just think that that is extraordinary. And she got that honorable mention spot for me. And my last honorable mention is going to be Sherry Squibbles from Monsters University.
Oh, my.
Again... Total
Way
wild
out there.
card.
I've forgotten that one. That's a great one, though. Yeah.
She is one of the Monsters moms.
She's a great character.
But she welcomes them all into her home. She becomes sort of like the den mother for the whole fraternity. It's such a fun character, and she even kind of drives the getaway car when they're trying to put together their little heist situation.
Thanks, Mom.
Have fun, kids. I'll just be here listening to my tunes.
She's very supportive, she's very funny, and she is definitely worthy of a mention on an honorable mentions.
All right, well, now we're going to talk about a couple of bad moms. These are ones that I'm not sure they should be moms at all. First one on my list is the mom from Carousel of Progress. I'm sorry. There's a child in the first scene doing manual labor, doesn't even get a line, and then disappears. What happened to the child? Did the
Check
child
the basement.
Yeah.
Now, that is not an animated film.
No, but that's a bad mom. Doesn't even let the child come out of the basement or wherever, out of the
No, there's a theory.
turntable there. She just pushes the little laundry handle back and forth, and then all of a sudden,
That's it.
she's gone.
If you're familiar with Carousel Progress, you know what we're talking about. In that very first scene, there are 2 daughters and a son, and in all the subsequent scenes, there is 1 daughter and 1 son. So there's always sort of a theory of what happened to this kid.
Exactly. Maybe it was a neighbor kid. I don't know. But
right? But I
either
did
way.
hear a theory that she's actually the one that we follow through, and it's the other daughter that goes missing.
Well, or goes off to college, maybe.
Maybe she goes off to
You know,
college.
for 120 years
We'll
or
give 'em
whatever. Anyway, that's my first one. What about you?
First on my list of bad moms is going to be Mother Gothel.
And that's the other one on my list.
Well, I have 4.
She's horrible.
She is
Stay
the worst.
inside. I will protect you.
Well, and first of all, it's not her kid. She didn't adopt Rapunzel. She stole her.
Yeah.
Did I mumble, Mother? Or should I even call you that?
It's just
she knows who she is.
like
She
human
keeps her-
trafficking. It's just not. Just say no.
And it's all for vanity. It's all because she wants to stay young and pretty. And, that's just no. Just a whole bunch of no. So the other 3 on my list of 4 bad moms are going to be Lady Tremaine,
Well,
who
yeah.
is Cinderella's stepmom. She's like the quintessential bad mom.
There's the large carpet in the main hall. Clean it. And the windows upstairs and down. Wash them. Oh, yes, and the tapestries and the draperies.
But I just finished.
Do them again.
I will argue, however, that she's a pretty good mom to her own two daughters. Drizella and Anastasia, she gets the music lessons. They have a servant.
In the real story, they cut off their toes.
Well, that's to make her fit the slipper so that she can marry the prince.
But a good mom would have said, no, don't cut off your toes.
Well, the other one, she cuts off her heel.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
I know.
that's the good old
But then they get their eyes
Yay.
pecked out like it's a whole thing.
I'm glad, Walt, thank you for not going down that route.
Not in the cartoon. And the other one that I'm going to mention is going to be Abuela, who is Alma Madrigal. She's awful. She's awful. I know it's supposed to be this redemption arc for her, but she is so horrible
Just
to Mirabelle.
Selfish.
She is selfish.
Belief.
She doesn't believe Mirabelle anything she says. She doesn't treat her the same because she doesn't have the gifts that the others have.
Bruno left because of you. Luisa's losing her powers. Isabella's out of control because of you. I don't know why you weren't given a gift, but it is not an excuse for you to hurt this family.
She's just, and she caused the whole thing with the whole, I don't know if you've seen it, spoilers, but she's the worst.
Now, Mirabelle's mom is fantastic.
Yeah, Julieta. Yeah. She is fantastic. We love Julieta. We love that she makes the arepas and that she can heal with her food. Like, what better gift for a mom?
I love that.
All mom's cooking is healing. It really is. Yeah, contenders for top 5. I had Kala. I had Tala, which is Moana's grandmother, who leads her to her gifts. She encourages her own curiosity. Raksha, who is the wolf who raises Mowgli, very similar to Kala for Tarzan.
Good call.
Hera, Hercules' mom, she's pretty great. Mrs. Potts, I have questions about, but she's pretty great to Chip. I don't know how she treats all those other cups who are in the cupboard who we never talk about.
Wonder, yeah.
That's questions there. But Sarabi, Mrs. Jumbo, Bambi's mom, Julieta we talked about, Duchess we talked about, Jill is Riley's mom in Inside Out. She's pretty great.
Yeah.
There were so many great contenders. We need to know who your favorite Disney mom is. Did we mention her in our top 5?
Did we get it right? Let us know in the comments. We would love to know. And a great big Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
From the Epcotian Adventure.
Oh, yay. We love moms.
Before we go, we'd like to give a big thank you to all the moms out there and to our theme music composer, Jason Patrick Rowan, whose music is licensed through Pond 5. And of course, thank you, Phoenicians.
Thank you, Phoenicians. And don't forget to rate, review, like, share, and subscribe. It really does help other people find us. You can find us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Epcotian Adventure is a $1,000 brunch production and a proud gold member of D23. Thanks for joining us today for episode 106 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And we'll see you in line.
Bye.
Thank the Phoenicians.
Mom.
Mom.